Hey guys, welcome back to a new YouTube video. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a forward-pointing transforming ninja star, but instead of the usual 2D one, if you see the thumbnail, it'd be 3D instead, which won't fly that well, sadly. If it would, it'd be much nicer, but it just depends how you want it. First thing, you want to fold it in half longs way, then you want to unfold it, then you want to make a diagonal so you can turn this into a square piece of paper. The reason why we have the center crease is because we're going to tear this piece of paper up into 4 pieces. So then you fold this so this edge lines up with this fold here, and then crease it very well. It's good to get as precise as you can, but it doesn't have to be 100% accurate right now. Accurate, I meant. And just repeat that a couple of times so it becomes easier to tear. Then you rip a tiny bit off right there. Then you start separating the pieces of paper like this. So it gives you a nice clean tear, or rip, whatever you guys want to say. Then fold it in half this way. And make sure you line it up. Then you keep creasing this back and forward. Then you're going to do the same thing. Tear it down in the middle. And then you want to tear these into the quarters. If you guys are struggling at any point, you guys know you can just pause it and then you can catch up. If you have something that happens like this, it's not the end of the world, just start on the other end. Just go, if you do that, it just is a little bit different, so it'll be fine. Put those to the sides and work on the other piece. Another way to make this easier to tear is to get your finger slightly wet, like with your spit or some water, then like rub it against the edge. Sorry, I hit the microphone there. Then tear. Now you got onto fours. This could be a lot easier if you get 5 pieces of paper, but I'm just gonna show you with 4 so you can do it later. So if you want, this just depends how thick you want your ninja star to be. If you want it thin, just make sure you fold this down thinly. If you want it pretty big, fold this down more. But make sure it's perpendicular to the edge of this. So I want mine kind of thin, but not too thin. So about this much here. But then you're gonna do this. Then you're gonna put a separate piece of paper and put it in it like this. And do this and bring it up to this edge here. Now they should be about the same thickness now, you guys can see. Now you're going to put this one in horizontally. Then you're going to fold it up this edge all the way up to the very edge of this piece, not to the top, just to the edge of the fold. Then you want to crease. And same thing with the other side. Try to make this as symmetrical as you can. Then you should have something that looks like this. Here, let me get a pinch real quick. Okay, you should see a crease that goes from here all the way down to here on both lanes. I just call them lanes, so don't mind how unstraight this line is. So you should see something like that, and like your edge should be about here too. So it should kind of look like this. This is filled down, and you have these two creases down the middle. And you're going to use this as like a template, but you're going to also use your template to fold. So do the same thing with the all the other things. So just go speed this up real quick. Okay, as soon as you're done with that, now I should have done this ahead of time, but you can still do it here. On some of your paper, like 2 your pieces of paper, you should see like a diagonal going through here. So like through here, you want this like crease to go from here all the way to like where it meets here, and do that on both sides. I should have done this ahead of time, but you guys can learn from my mistakes. So crease it, then you want to crease it all the way up until you hit this crease right here. So right there. Okay, so you get 2 creases that go from corners to your quote-unquote center crease, because you want this separate to make it 3D, and you want to do it with all the pieces of paper because you kind of need that. So 2 pieces of paper will already have it, and one, and then other 2 you have to do like both folds. So I'm just gonna speed this up real quick. Okay, when you're done doing that, you're gonna fold this down like kind of how you fold a paper airplane, like your first ever paper airplane, down to the crease closest to this edge. So you leave a pretty big gap there. You do that same thing to the other side. So it should look like this, with a tiny piece of paper here. And while you're here, you want to crease this down, like where this edge is, ahead of time. Now you're gonna fold this edge to this diagonal that I showed you earlier. And do that on both sides, makes it symmetrical. And then when you're done with that, it should be able to collapse down. So what would it actually, I made a mistake. You don't want to crease here, you want to crease where these two intersect here. So like they meet right here, right here. So you want to crease down from there, but just there, because you don't want to go too much outside that area. Then you put your finger right under this piece right here, right to that line. You put your other finger to that line as well. You push it down, and then you make it look like this. Make sure these creases are sharp too, and you have to invert these creases, and then it should look like the basic 4-pointed ninja star transforming thing, but 3D, and you do that with the rest. So I'll get back to you when I'm done with that. I also forgot to tell you when I was doing that is that you want to invert these creases ahead of time. So yeah, sorry about that. So they go this way now. You can do this ahead of time, but it's more convenient to do like this, and then you just do the exact same thing, but now it's much easier. I'm sorry for everyone I made messed up, but it still worked that way. You just need to crease it, invert the creases, but yeah. Okay, now I'll be back with all of them done. Okay, when you're done with that, you should have something that looks kind of like this, and now you're going to inverse the folds, or reverse fold them. You want to turn these from valley folds, aka when the crease lines are pointing away from you, to mountain folds, which they look more like they're more pointing towards you. So it's pretty simple. Just push down on this. But before you do that, you start doing it, you're having troubles keeping this straight. So then you unfold it slightly, then you crease upwards slightly, so it should look like this. Then you continue on with it, and you crease. You can do that for the rest of them. Try to make your crease as straight as possible, because the straighter it is, the easier the rest of the steps will be. Okay, here, I'll show you that one more time. So you start folding up, but you look right here first. So right here, you want a crease that goes straight from here. See it? The bottom one. Sorry, I'm not really good at drawing lines. So you want to crease that this way, so but make sure it's straight. Looks like this. Then you continue on with the rest of your folds. So you do that with the rest of them. Make sure you're doing them correctly too. And make sure you crease these top ones quite well. So like put your finger in it and like crease it against your finger by pinching it. And when you're done with the step, it has one of the hardest steps next, so I hope you guys can do it. I guess it's very difficult. This could be easier if you like make it out of like 4 whole sheets of paper instead of like quarters of papers, but I feel like it's easier to show with smaller paper for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. And now you do it normally, but it's because it's 3D instead of 2D, the structure is not very stable until you connect all of them. So you do it classic. You put this in, through this way, and then you line this up so they look like they match. Then you fold them in. Well, you fold it this way first, so towards you, to make sure these are even. Then you reverse fold it into that pocket so it fits in well. It may seem unnecessary, but it will help you in the long term. It's just gonna take an extra couple seconds. Boom. Now once in, make sure this is still 3D. Keep it there. It's very hard to keep there. And now you do that same thing but with this piece in here. So you get this piece, put it up here, and do that. Same thing. Try to keep this together. You can slightly flatten this to make it easier on yourself, but don't flatten it too much. You can just do it like that if you pretty easy to put in. Now this one is always the most difficult one. You slide this one in. Make sure they're all about the same size. This one's not, so it won't fit as well. Pull this up as high as you can. Keep it 3D. And this one you just had to tuck in because it's very difficult to hold. Put this down more. And then you do the rest of the same way. And that should be it. If you need to, you can use a pencil, put it in here to help straighten it out this way. So this one was my slightly misshaped one, so it will always kind of look like that, and it will transform. It's just very difficult to. If you have like stronger paper, like construction paper, maybe it'll work better, but because I have pretty thin like printer paper, it won't work well, but it still kind of transforms. You can like transform enough to put like a little hole in it. And you can do it farther, but I'm not really the best at transforming. But it should be good that way. Okay. So this is gonna be it for today, and I hope to see you in the next video I make, which is probably gonna be the next few months.